So this is the chapter 6, and in this chapter we will learn about the environmental conservation and sustainability. This chapter is divided into three parts. The first part is that what are the principles of sustainable development in relation with the climate change. The second is the importance of biodiversity conservation. And the third is the environmental protection and conservation policies and regulations. We'll discuss one by one. The first is the principles of sustainable development. So as we know, the sustainable development, the development which can be sustained for a longer time and is related to the climate and how climate change is a negative force for the sustainable development. So from the viewpoint of the climate change, what are the principles? The principles are the intergenerational equity. I mean here, future generations should not be deprived of the natural resources. Environment should not be degraded for the future generations. We have to look the integrated approach. What is the integrated approach? There should be balancing needs. So there is a environment, economic and social needs, and it should be addressed in a balancing way. And you have to recognize all these three not independent, but all these are interconnected. There should be a systematic thinking for understanding the complex interaction between human system and the natural system. And what is the problem? And the third is precautionary principles. The risk management. Like science is uncertain. All the scientific analysis, there is some analysis which says that, okay, there is no climate change or there is a climate change. So it's uncertain. We should not wait and we should not wait for the scientific evidence, but we have to see the risk to the environment and human health that is high. And this principle advocates the action. Then inclusive and participatory governance. There should not be one way, like only the government policy, but all the stakeholders, including those who are suffering because of this climate change, should be part of the decision-making processes. And there should be a transparency and accountability. Economic sustainability means here green economy. The economy should be which promotes the environment sustainability. We should have the low carbon emission. Decoupling of economic growth and environmental degradation. In economic growth should not lead to the environmental degradation. Economic growth should be so environment can be protected. Social sustainability, equity and justice, the resources, the distribution of resource and opportunities should not be uh, unequal. The inequality among the countries or among the societies should not be there. Community resilience and empowerment. So here building uh, resilient communities with the capacity to adopt the climate change and other environmental changes. Environmental protection, the conservation of biodiversity and ecosystem to maintain the ecosystem services. Sustainable resource use, managing natural resources in a way to maintain the ecosystems. Innovation and adaptation. The technologies should be supporting the, uh, the sustainable goals. Adaptation and resilience, enhancing the ability of society to adopt the climate change impact and building resilience against the future risk. Now, the second part we come to the what is the importance of biodiversity conservation. This biodiversity, we can say that it plays an important role. What are the ecosystem services? So, the ecosystem services, uh, the services it provides, biodiversity provides food, fiber, additional resources, and genetic materials. All these are the services provided by the biodiversity, and these are known as the ecosystem services. The regulatory regulating services, it regulates the climate, water cycle, and air quality. So this is the significance. For instance, forests sequester carbon dioxide and helping the mitigate the climate change. If, they have the cultural services. Biodiversity contribute to the cultural identity also. Recreational activities, tourism, and natural landscape and wildlife are the central to many cultural practices. Supporting services, these include the soil formation, nutrient cycles, and primary production. So these are the economic services which is being provided by the biodiversity. The economic security, the agriculture. Biodiversity ensures the pollination of crops, pest control, and soil fertility. Healthy the fisheries, healthy marine ecosystems support the productive fisheries, medicines, and biotechnology. So these are the genetic material of plants and animals which help the biotechnological innovation. Then resilience and risk reduction. The climate change, the biodiverse ecosystem. Here, biodiverse ecosystem are more resilient to climate change. Okay, like the mangroves, protect the coastlines and storm surge and sea level rise. They act buffer against the ecosystem collapse. Diverse ecosystem. If there is a diverse ecosystem, there will be there the ecosystem will be stable. It will not collapse all of a sudden. Then employment and economic growth. So the job creation, the conservation efforts, sustainable agriculture, ecotourism, research related, all these are the employment opportunities. And when we say the sustainable development, of course, there should be a biodiversity. So sustainable development and biodiversity, who will talk about the sustainable? Those who are having the biodiversity rich. Okay. And the insurance value. Biodiversity is a natural capital. Okay. So it ensures the future generation can be benefited from its resources and services. Then we come to the policies and regulations part. The policies may be at global level. At global level, there are many frameworks which we can say that, okay, these frameworks are related to the climate change directly or indirectly. Among these frameworks are these: UNFCCC, Paris Agreement, there is a Convention on Biological Diversity, Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, and this is the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. So this is the global framework, and we say the regional framework. There are many regional in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and in other parts of the world. Then at national level, we can give many examples from USA, UK, India, and from another countries. Local and municipal regulations are there at LGA or municipal level. There are many land use, land cover plannings which are used, which are the instrumental for the to combat the climate change. And there are the policies, rules and regulation related to corporate and industry standards, and these standards ensures the effective environmental management system within the business. Then there are some traditional knowledge and practices. So these traditional knowledge and practices also uh, plays a key role, important role in protecting the areas and conserving the biodiversity. So this was about the chapter 6, and now we'll move forward. Thank you.